Hello, everybody. This is Tianat Zagaye regarding Wells Fargo's criminal activity that's supported by DC judges. And I'm getting ready, they're getting ready to come and take my home fraudulently because I was denied justice in DC court. The judges are 100% on Wells Fargo's side. Wells Fargo claims they gave me $250,000 home equity, and they gave us a copy of a check for that amount of money. And the check is the check is written in 2005, and then they gave my lawyer the copy of the check 11 years later. And they are talking about all kind of stuff that sometimes they say they deposited in my account. When we ask them what account, they're not going to, they don't tell us. And then they're saying they paid my other loans, and I don't have any other loans. And they're talking about they pay my debt. When we ask them what kind of loan and what kind of debt, no explanation. When we ask them, can you show us the original check and show us who signed in the back of the check? They said no. We went to court. Judge Florence Y. Penn, we told her this is a criminal fraudulent case. She said, no, it's not criminal case. It's a civil case. And then she screamed at my lawyer, threatening him, frightening him. 15 minutes hearing went by there, arguing with my lawyer, and then she ruled against me. I had taken the copy of the check to Attorney General office to talk to Wells Fargo. They asked him to show the back of the check. They said no. They said, we're not going to show you because 7 years later, we don't keep paper documents. And it's 11 years later is when we got the copy. They're talking about they shred the back of the same check, but they couldn't shred the front of the check. This kind of gimmick. And the judges never challenged it or asked Wells Fargo what they did with the money. They never asked them proof of paying me, where the money went, who took it. They never demand like we're demanding to show the back of the check. In fact, Florence Y. Penn, she's a Chinese-American judge, she said $250,000 is irrelevant. If Mrs. Zagaye didn't pay for the last 10 years, she's just going to have to pay you $424,000. The fact I refused to pay is because I didn't get the money. I cannot continue paying money that they never gave me. And she never asked whether they have paid me or not, and how, and where, and no evidence whatsoever. Completely standing on their side, denying me a court due process. We asked a jury hearing. She denied us that. She said, no jury hearing, no evidence, no discovery, no witnesses, no litigation, nothing. 15 minutes hearing. And then we wrote for her to reconsider because she have done a mistake ruling without any court due process. She said no. She said $250,000 is irrelevant, and Mrs. Zagaye is not credible. Can you imagine this Chinese woman don't know me to insult my integrity, to add to the injury, denying me the court due process, denying me justice, denying me my constitutional right, denying me my human right, denying me for my justice for all right. She's insulting my integrity. So she said, no, she's not going to consider. So we appealed to the three judges above her, and the three judges demand oral argument in front of them. We were excited. We said yes. And then Wells Fargo said no. Remember, they're saying no to everything. So they said no to the oral argument. So we thought the judges are going to rule in our favor. Instead, they rule in Wells Fargo's favor for refusing their order. So what do? We lost the case. We lost it. So what happened? I'm running around writing the President of the United States, President Biden. He responded to me, and then he sent my complaint letter to Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. 2 weeks later, they told me they lost my case in their computer. I wrote Attorney General Garland. I didn't get any response. I wrote my constituents, Mrs. Eleanor Holmes. I didn't get any response. I wrote Miss Elizabeth Warren. She responded, but she said, there is nothing I can do. I'm not your constituents. So I'm writing everywhere asking for help, for justice, to be given a justice right, to be given a chance to investigate Wells Fargo, what they have done. So to finalize the case, in other words, to hand out my home to the robber, here comes another lawyer, judge called Dinah Dyson. And this woman, I wrote a motion asking her to give me a chance to know how much my debt is to pay the robber, the thief. I asked her, I don't agree the $900,000 they're asking me to pay. I only owe $62,000 on my property. The bill is wrong. I demand, not demand, but I ask the judge to give me a chance to audit and investigate the bill. She said no. And I'm going to let you hear the audio on that hearing, how she ended up. In other words, if Wells Fargo is investigated and audited, she's scared they're going to be caught with their crime, with their fraudulent. So she denied me. So she's saying, in other words, you have no right to investigate or to ask any question about the bill or to audit Wells Fargo. Just pay what's asked of you. Give your home to Wells Fargo. You see what I mean? You see how all the judges are in favor of Wells Fargo. You see how they're defending Wells Fargo. That's why Wells Fargo is still in the fraudulent business, stealing people's home, causing people to go homeless, broke. Those judges, I'm afraid they're in bed together with Wells Fargo. I'm afraid they are sharing the sale of the houses among them. This sounds like a very well-organized criminal chain going on between Wells Fargo and the judges in Washington, D.C. They're all for them. Wells Fargo said, I don't want to show the back of the signature on the check. I don't want to go oral argument. I don't want to be investigated. I don't want to tell you what kind of loan you have, who we paid it to. Sometimes they say they deposited to my account. When we ask what account, they say they paid my deal. They don't have a single accountability. And the judges are covering their dirt, their crime so severely, very diligently. They are for Wells Fargo. We're in trouble, people. We're in trouble. Little people, vulnerable people are targeted. They're going to come at you, people. They're going to get your home unless you are wake up right now and stop dealing with this horrible bank. The bank is stealing people. Their record, the horrible record is everywhere. Dana Dyson, I point out to her, to this judge, I said, based on their criminal history, I want you to rule for me. She said, Wells Fargo never committed crime. I have her order right here in my hand. You see how much they're defending them, protecting them, to the extent of denying Wells Fargo is the most criminal bank in the history of America. Imagine how those judges are protecting Wells Fargo. And that's why Wells Fargo never go to jail for its crime. And that's why Wells Fargo is still in robbery business, robbing people money. At one time, they were stealing 2 pennies every day from their clients. It was in the news. It was in the news. And they made $2 million out of that. This is robbery bank. It never stopped robbing. And now I'm getting ready to be robbed, my home, blindly, unjustly, unfairly, just like that. Because the judges want me to hand out my home without any justification. Never accountability, no discovery, no evidence. This is a horrible situation going on in the courtroom in this great country called America. The land who created democracy, human rights, justice for all. Constitution. This is a country who came up with the idea of constitution. Constitution has been broken in this case. Total justice has been broken. Those judges are standing for the robber called Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo continue robbing all of us. That's why I said there is a very well organized criminal chain going on here. People, be careful. And now they're asking me to pay $900,000. I have paid all my cash to all stranger lawyers. I have fought 17 years agony and suffering and depression. I have filed bankruptcy. None of it helped. As long as they have the judges, nobody is going to win. So they are asking me, without any question asked, to pay $900,000 in just a few days. That's why I'm coming to the public. Just like I'm giving you a free information, please help me donate any amount of money on the link down under and help me save my home, my retirement home. I'm an old lady. I worked 46 years to buy my property in order to retire comfortably, independently, without costing the American taxpayers. I never beg. I rather give than receive. I have helped so many people in this same property. I couldn't help my own, but I'm helping everybody. Now, I need people, kind people, to come to my rescue. Please help me donate any amount he can get. So somehow, somewhere, I have to save my home. I don't want to be homeless. This is what they do. Take people's home with the help of the judges, and people are living under the bridge. I'll never forget one lady, a white lady. She's dying. She was living in her car with her cancer. With a cancer. I remember another lady with her 2 children, African-American lady, living under the bridge. And this is what Wells Fargo does to people. And this is what DC judges are protecting. So please protect yourself and help me. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. And thank you for helping me donate whatever you can get. Thank you so much.